Hey guys, you know what? To really stand out from the crowd, you need a rare car. But I'm not talking about exclusive exotic cars or hyper luxury automobiles. There are cars you can get with better bona fide claims to exclusivity than those without breaking the bank. Before we get into that, however, make sure that you are subscribing to youtube.com/browncarguy. Follow me on all social media channels. Just search for my hashtag. It's on my hat, but also there it is, of course, hashtag browncarguy. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my website, which of course is just browncarguy.com. And if you enjoy my content, you can sponsor it and you can have your name come up in it as well. And I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video, but you can do that by going to patreon.com/browncarguy. Cool. Let's get into this. Don't be a sheep. Don't follow the crowd. Let your car make a statement. Be unique. Stand out. Be the maverick motorist. That's all very well, you're thinking. After all, who doesn't want to flaunt their inimitable style, especially if you can say the word inimitable? But when it comes to cars, we can't all afford to buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis in order to be that cool cat. Well, that's true. I can certainly vouch for that. But can you afford less than £500? Because for that, you could possibly buy a car that would be one of only 7 that are licensed on the roads of Britain. That's 7 out of over 40 million vehicles on the road. And what is this utterly exclusive gem of a vehicle, I hear you asking? Why, it's the Piaggio Porter, an Italian-built version of a Daihatsu minivan. Yeah, you don't really want one of those, do you? The only reason that I brought it up was because it was the cheapest car at an average used price of just £480 on a list of affordable rare cars put out by Car Lease Special Offers, CLSO for short, after they researched to the DVLA vehicle licensing database. I'll put the link to that story in the description below. Whoa, don't wander off just yet. There are some interesting cars on this list, I promise. And talking of Daihatsus, there's the Taft, their version of like a Suzuki Jimny, but from the 70s and 80s. There's only one, and it's valued at less than £1,700. That's kind of cool. And you know, TAF stands for Tough Almighty Four-Wheel Touring Vehicle. Or it's also slang for not interested in sex. And fittingly enough, that's a frightening thought. Okay, scrap that idea altogether. How about the Smart Crossblade? I mean, this thing really is eye-catching and definitely something to pose in, and that's coming from someone who's not really a smart car fan at all. There's only about 17 of these, and you can have one for around £16,000. You know, there's 3 times more McLaren Sennas around than there are Smart Crossblades. And of course, they are costing a fair bit more money, though I'd wager that the Crossblade would be a decent investment, perhaps even more so than the Macca Senna. Hey, who remembers the Peugeot 605 from the 90s, a big luxury saloon that was actually rather handsome and had decent performance and handled well too? I mean, there was one of these in the movie Ronin going up against the Audi S8. You don't need more cred than that. There are only 15 of those left here apparently, and you should be able to snap one up for around £1,800. Damn, I'm tempted if I can find one. Oh, and get this, there are only 432 Fiat Cinquecentos in Britain, apparently. The boxy ones, you know, from the 90s, even though they actually made over 1 million of those. But you know, these have become something of a cult classic thanks to being made famous by the TV show The In-Betweeners.
Well, I don't think it's too bad. It's not great though, is it? No. But don't look at the external realities, think of the immense possibilities.
What?
Yes, it's a Cinquecento Hawaii, but it's also freedom. It's the possibility of driving our own destiny. We can be what we want now, push our lives literally in the direction we want them to. Oh Christ, is that a tape deck?
And values kind of reflect that because they're nearly £5,000, and it's, I would say that's slightly high, on the high side, but you know, still they are quirky, fun, and probably a very good place to put your pennies actually. Another car that caught my eye on the list was the most modern one on there, which was the Kia Stinger, launched only about 3 years ago and highly acclaimed by journalists such as yours truly for being the first desirable and good-looking four-door rear-wheel drive sports saloon from Korea. You'd think there'd be more than the 48 of them as was claimed. I mean, there's probably been more press cars and demonstrators than that. Now, checking on another website, howmanyleft.co.uk, sure enough, it would appear that this is a mistake because there are more like close to at least 2,000 of them on the road. But having said that, that's still a fraction of the number of BMW M5s out there, which this thing is kind of gunning for in its high performance, guys. Now, I know these to be proper head turners. They do grab people's attention, especially in bright colors, and they are fun to drive. Plus, brand new, they start from around £40,000. Yet used, even on Kia's own used approved website, you can get them from 20k. Now that's worth a deco for sure. And it does make you think, doesn't it? CLSO also put out a chart showing the best pound for pound car makes for standing out. And it would seem to indicate that once again a Daihatsu is the way to go for the most pose for your pounds. I'd suggest something like a Daihatsu Copen, the tiny little pocket roadster. 3,000 will get you a pretty good one. There's a few on eBay right now, I did check. Not for me though, I don't think I would fit very well in it. And finally, they also put out a list of 50 car makes listed by models on the road with average prices. Now, according to this, owning a Maserati with around 10,000 cars that are on the roads is about as exclusive as owning a Ferrari with just over 11,000 cars. And yet it's about £64,000 cheaper with an average price of £22,000. That's for average price of used Maseratis. And it swells my heart to see that the next most exclusive and coolest brand to own that's relatively within reach compared to supercars appears to be Lotus. There's less than 12,000 of them on the road with an average price of 38k, £38,000. So I definitely need to do that someday. I tell you what, give me your recommendations for affordable, rare, but highly desirable used cars. Put them in the comments below. I think you could probably come up with a lot more interesting ones than what we've mentioned here today. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure that you're subscribing to youtube.com/browncarguy. Subscribe to my website as well, which of course is browncarguy.com. And follow me on all social media such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Just search for my hashtag. It is #browncarguy. If you enjoy my content, then maybe you can sponsor it. And you can do that from as little as £2 a month by going to patreon.com/browncarguy and join some amazing people such as Muhammad Ali Ahmed over in the UAE, Partha Srinivasan in India, Tom Conway Gordon here in the UK, Isaac Beauchard over in America, my mate Reza Adel here again in the UK, Mohammed Qasim also here, and Siraj Abbasi here in London. Plus, my latest patron is Mark Waddell, all the way over in Canada. Those people are absolutely awesome, and you can join them, like I said, by heading over to patreon.com/browncarguy, where it is possible to get some of these stickers. Look at these, fresh from the printers. How cool are those? And maybe even, depending on what tier you go for, the Brown Car Guy hat. Isn't that great? Anyway, if you can do that, fantastic. If you can't, make sure you've hit the like button, comment if you can, certainly share the video amongst your friends, and of course, like I said, make sure that you're subscribing and you've hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any of these videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again soon in the next video.